Shalom. This is Mary Omni from the World Government House of King David, Holy Covenant Constitutional Enforcer. I'm the woman of Galatians 4:4 and the woman of Revelations 12. Please refer to your Bible. And all I ask you to do is consider that I am who I say I am. I'm the mother of the New Jerusalem, and I'm the mother that gave birth to newborn King Emmanuel, February the 15th, 2011. This is a Republic notice to Sandra Bullock and those of her ilk and their criminal Blindside. This is Hollywood, and Hollywood propaganda always using the media to try to play this do-gooder type of thing. Now, some of the biggest predators in North America is Caucasian women. Not only are they predators in schools as teachers, where they always seem to kind of wind up raping young boys and are never prosecuted. And this behavior of their criminality is never addressed. They're not innocent to none of the criminality that's been perpetrated in America on blacks, because they give birth to the white man, and they have benefited a lot from giving birth to the white man in North America, who have trampled blacks and have tried to slaughter them for 500 years in this country and tried to attrition them out of everything. Now, Sandra Bullock, she may say I'm not guilty of none of that and none of that have nothing to do with me. But she is one of the ones that play this do-gooder, innocent-looking Caucasian woman that's doing so-called charity work when she adopts a black child. Now, this seems to be a Hollywood thing. They want to do so much charity work and taking care of black children, but they refuse to pay them and to return all their stolen wealth, stolen from the 14th black child royal infant, which they helped trample by 300 and 400 million. Then they go ahead and consent to dung contracts to violate and trample his constitutionality further and deprive him of the right to know thyself and to know thy people under dung contracts, creating a sort of chattel slavery for a child who's born a non-consenter. Sandra Bullock played in a movie called Blindside as some Irish immigrants who supposedly gave this big 200 to 300 pounder football player a chance in life. They supposedly had given him this and given him that and given him this and did this for him and helped him get in the football league and helped them become a professional sports and raise his life quality and all this, because his mother and him was so trampled by her ilk and her immigrant status of 300 to 400 million, trampling and all garnering like animals for his birthrights, like Walmart on a Black Friday, where they all running like animals, trampling this black infant and his mother, even soon she gave birth to him. Now she walks around as if she believed that Hollywood malarkey that she played in the Blindside. Even though in the Blindside she said that they was Irish immigrants who came to this country and was able to obtain Taco Bells. Something that the man she supposed to have adopted mother couldn't obtain. Why? Because her and her Irish immigrant status was helping the Dracons to trample the Holy Covenant Constitution, namesake heir birthrights and constitutionality wealth, as they use that to embezzle wealth. Her dung contracts of immigrant status, where she never was a 14th inheritor or receiver, because it's been non-consented since 1868. So all they could do is trample and pretend it belonged to them, and that was their excuse to steal and help Babylon steal and keep the Dracon system going of hate and oppression of blacks and attrition in blacks out of everything, to the point where the Sandra Bullocks believe Hollywood and then come along and adopt a little boy named Louis under a dung contract, because the Constitution non-consents the adoption of black children. Judah is married to Judah. The Constitution non-consents the adoption of black children. Judah is married to Judah. If Sandra Bullock wanted to help Louis return all her stolen wealth like the rest of the Hollywood to Judah, black babies, and all them ones that they call their self-adopted. Return your stolen wealth. Get out of their house. Get off of their land. Take your dung and contracts and stick them in your mouth and go somewhere. And leave these black children backs alone. You are cowards and bullies, Sandra Bullock, and all you're like. You're not innocent. You have a whole great deal of criminality. Because you know the 14th came to black people first, just like everybody else. And you know that black people are constitutional citizens. Yet you want to play this game of like you giving Louis something. You trying to steal further. You even saying this boy don't even have a right to his God identity. He has to look at your nostrils that don't look like his. He has to look at your stringy hair that don't look like his. You and all these gay and these liberals always seem to want to adopt black kids for your gay setups and your Hollywood setups. Why don't you just get off their back and stop pretending you own anything but your dung contracts? Stop being thieves, sucking Satan fowlers, and then smiling and innocent in the face talking about I'm going to move him in his neighborhood. No, get out of his mother's house so him and his mother can have his house you stole. Get off his birthrights so him and his mother can have the money you stole. Get out of his system so him and his mother can have their constitutional rights upheld. If that's how you want to help Lil Louis. Now, cases like Lil Louis and Sandra Bullock is the criminality of white women trying to continue chattel slavery, using children and using Hollywood and media propaganda in do-gooder to swipe away the identity of the next and succeeding generations of black children, and to have them still in a quandary of who they are and their identity as Judah and the namesake, and to have them in a quandary of how much she have trampled him while she claiming to help him. So this is what we got to understand all over. Even in the European countries, Sandra Bullocks and these gay types always seem to want to adopt the black kids like they their dog. Nobody don't test these gays with their white children. Why is the gays always being tested with black children in France where they got all these gay rights and all this stuff? Why is the gays here always trampling the black children and want the black children birthright for their sexual habits? Why is the whole Hollywood liberal team like Sandra Bullock so embedded into black vaginal envy that every time they looking for an extraction out of a black woman vagina, whether it's a black man, a child, or whatever? And the black people following this nonsense and not understanding that even Native Americans have a sense enough to say you got to have tribal blood to adopt their children and not fall into traps of propaganda of a Blindside like we supposed to be still in the 21st century, so flooded with your piss of Stockholm syndrome that we don't know that you trampled Louis. You trampled Louis. Now you want to snatch his brain and his right to know thyself. His right to know his racial makeup identity. His right to see a woman with hair like his. His right to see a woman raise him with a complexion like his. His right to know his people. You can't raise him to know his people. You can only come in his neighborhood as a squatter and somebody who trampled him. This is your blindside criminality, Sandra Bullock. It is not innocent. It is criminal. And you are under judgment like everyone else. This is Mary Omni from the House of King David. Shalom.